screen. Okay. First, directly I am giving you a problem. Based on that, I will understand the mesh analysis. What is your understanding? Okay. You try to draw this circuit. Based on that, we will calculate the current. Okay. Try to note down in your book. This is current source, 2 amperes, and it is connected to resistors. This is 3 ohm and this is 2 ohm. Okay. Then we have one current source here. This is 3 amperes. And we have a resistor here. This is 1 ohm. And the current flowing is here in this branch is I. Then there is a dependent source. Okay. That is Vx by 2. The value is Vx by 2. Voltage dependent, voltage control, voltage source, voltage dependent, voltage source. That Vx value will be across this 3 ohm. I hope you have completed. You try to solve within your time. Consider the following circuit. Determine the current I. Consider the following circuit. Determine the current I. Your time starts now. We will see how fast you will solve.
One ampere.
I value 1 amperes.
Yes, sir.
We'll see. Any other answer? Make sure this is actually one loop current, this is another loop current in here and here. She was telling 1 amperes. Is it correct? Anyone? Rule number 14. B19E014. What is your answer? .95. B180.095.
1 ampere.
You're also getting 1 ampere.
Yes, sir.
We'll see whether we are getting this 1 ampere or not.
2.3.
Hmm?
2.3.
2.3.
Please.
What you're doing, simply you're applying mesh analysis, right? We'll see which answer we'll get. We'll see. Simple, whenever you are having the closed loop, whenever you are having a mesh, that closed loop will be considered with some current direction, right? In case of voltages at the nodes, simply we have considered previously for the node analysis voltage at each and every node. That voltage must be at higher potential. Other value, for suppose one element is actually having, there is a voltage source and this is the node, at node voltage is V, then simply we have considered V is at higher potential. Then simply for calculation what we did is V minus 12 by R1 for calculating the current. Why? Because we are assuming here V at higher potential and this one is at the lower potential every time. Okay, for that reason we got V minus 12 by R1. Then here similarly for this case, for this kind of a mesh analysis, you have to consider the current in each and every loop. The simple, first you will consider the current direction, but the rule here is you can assume the current direction, whether this direction or this direction, whatever your wish, you can assume either way, but this must be same for all the loops. For example, if you are assuming this is the current direction, then current direction in the other loops also must be same. Okay, and the other thing is, whenever you are writing the mesh equation in the first one, the first mesh equation if you are writing, then in that case that mesh current, whatever you are considering, that mesh current is always greater than compared to other mesh. That is the actual rule when you are writing. Okay, for suppose my current directions are like this, then you know these two rules, I think so. If you don't know, you note down there. Then this is I2 and this one is I3. The first rule is we need to assume the current direction must be same in all the loops. The current direction must be same in all the loops. And the other one is you need to assume the current whatever you are writing. For mesh 1, if you are writing the equation, then that current is more when compared to other currents. That's the simple thing you have to assume. Then first I am writing the first mesh equation. Whenever you are having this kind of a circuit here for I1, okay, you can write I1 equation, I2 equation, I3, sorry, the first mesh equation, second mesh equation, third mesh equation, right? But every time you can't solve with the mesh analysis only. For simplicity, this kind of a complex problem, if you want to solve, you can use both the KCL and KVL, so that here the complex thing is you will get 3 equations when you are applying only mesh analysis. Okay, you have to solve all those equations. Okay, instead of that you can apply the combination of KCL and KVL, so that you will get the value, very easily. Okay, then first time what I am doing is I am applying the KCL first. The KCL is here at this point, right? Here at this point, if you consider at this point, you know already the algebraic sum of the leaving currents is equal to 0. That means entering is equal to leaving, right? Then which one is entering? Which one is the entering value? Here you can see this is 3 amperes. Okay, this is 3 amperes. This 3 amperes, 2 amperes is going this way. Okay, getting, then obviously this side it will go 1 ampere, this side it is going 1 ampere. Okay, that 1 ampere is going this way. When it is going 1 ampere this way, but we don't know the voltage here Vx, we need to find this Vx value first to know the value of Vx by 2. For that reason, this 2 ampere is going this way and this is going this way, right? We got this. Simply I have taken this 3 ampere is divided into 2 amperes and 1 ampere. Then when you apply this KCL, you will come to know what is the current in this loop. Obviously this 1 ampere into 3 amperes, that means this current, if you calculate, that is flowing through is in this loop, it is same, that is 1 ampere into 3 ohm, 3 ampere, that is 3 amperes. That directly the source is connected, directly you can tell I1 is equal to 3 amperes. Okay, I1 is equal to 3 amperes. In this loop, how much current is flowing? That is equal to 2 amperes. In this loop, how much? This is directly, it is equal to 2 amperes. I hope you are getting this. If you are not getting, then highlight node equation here at this stage. Which one is entering? This minus 3 is entering. Okay, and whenever you are writing the KCL equation, you have to take enterings are equal to negative. Then in that case, minus 3 is entering, 2 is leaving. Then another one, this current, this is also leaving. That current you can calculate Vx by 3. Vx by 3, which is equal to 0. Then minus 3, 2, that is plus 1 or minus 1. Minus 1. If that minus 1 is going this side, it will be plus 1. Then what is the value of Vx here? That is equal to 3. First I applied KCL here at this point, at A. Okay, KCL at point A. I hope it is clear. For finding the value of Vx, I have actually calculated Vx is equal to 3. Okay, then with that you will come to know the current value. The current value I1, which is equal to 3 amperes. Why? Because this is 1 ampere and this is 3 ohm. Then this current is also flowing 3 amperes here from the source. That is the loop current I1 is 3 amperes. Then what is the I2 value? I2 value is obviously that is flowing 2 amperes in this loop, right? then the source is directly connected, I2 is 2 amperes. Our intention, we have to find this I, that I is actually I3. I3 is the value which is equal to I only. We have to find this one. Why you are getting 1 amperes, we will see. First, for the calculation, same. In the mesh 3, whatever this one, I am applying the KVL. How you will apply mesh 3 equation? We will see. First one is this value, that is Vx by 2. I am taking from that dependent source I am taking. Then this is Vx by 2. Then this value, that is minus 2 into first which loop we are writing, third loop. Then I3 will be greater than I2 will be lesser. In this case, you will get minus 2 into I3 minus I2. Then what we have? 1 ohm. 1 ohm into I. That value is equal to 1 into I, which is equal to 0. The algebraic sum of voltages inside loop, which is equal to 0. This is actually the KVL what we have defined. Then what is the I3 value? We know I3 value, that I3 value is equal to I only. Simply we need I, for that reason you substitute here also I. Then this will become Vx by 2 minus 2 into I minus I2. What is the value of I2? You know I2 value, which is equal to 2 amperes. Simply you substitute here 2 amperes. I2 value is 2 amperes minus I, it's equal to 0. If you solve this one, you know Vx value also. Vx value is equal to 3 volts, right? That 3 by 2 minus 2I plus 4 minus I equal to 0. From this you will get the value of I. How much you are getting? You are getting 1 amperes, 2.3, or any different value?
$1.83.
That is equal to 1.833, that is equal to 11 by 6 amperes. It is also equal to 1.83. This is the correct answer. Whenever this kind of a circuit is given, don't think every time you have to apply KVL in all the loops. Okay, whenever the dependent source is there, that time it is easy to apply the combination of KCL and KVL. Okay, You note down the next problem. You have a circuit like this. Okay, this is the circuit. You have this one as 45 volts, and this is current I1. Okay, this is 120 volts, and this is 10 ohm, and this one is 15 ohm. This is 5 ohm. This is 10 ohm, and the voltage, sorry, is equal to 20 volts. This is 5 ohm. The current here in this loop is I3, and here in this loop is I2. If you have this kind of a circuit, determine using the mesh analysis. Okay, that means you have to apply all the loop equations. Find the values of I1, I2, I3. Your time starts now. You, as fast as you can, you write three equations. You solve those three equations to find I1, I2, I3.
I1 0.5,
Exactly.
I2 3 minus 3.7,
Very good.
I3 0.31.
0.31. Exactly. 2 minutes 23 seconds. Anyone else got these values? Minus 3.77 amperes. I3 got my, you got exact values, 0.318 amperes. This is pretty simple. What he did is simply he assumed the current direction. The current direction must be same. Okay, this is I1, let us suppose. And this is I2. This is I3. Okay, you have to write the KVL equations for each loop. The KVL equations you can write first. If you are writing for this 45 minus 10 into, here in this loop we will always assume I1 is greater when compared to I2. For that reason I1 minus I2, you know this already, right? Then again minus 10, because we have another 10 ohm resistor, into, again we will take I1 is greater when compared to I3, equal to 0. This is first equation. Then the second one, simply you have to apply here. Then this value you are taking, which is starting with the positive. For that reason I am taking opposite, that is minus 120 minus 15 into, there is no common point for this. 15 is individually for loop 2 only. For that reason 15 into I2. Then 5 is the common element between second loop and third loop. For that reason that I2, whatever we are writing that equation, for that reason we will assume I2 is greater value. Okay. Minus 10 in minus 10 into I2 minus I1.
According to Wikipedia, year 722 was a common year starting on Thursday of the Julian calendar. The denomination 722 for this year has been used since the early medieval period, when the Anno Domini
is equal to 0, right? This is second equation. You got the same value in the second equation also. Then the third one, in this you have 20, right? Simply 20 minus 10 into I3 is greater when compared to I1. For that reason first I am writing I3 minus I1. Okay. Then 5 into I3 minus I2. Then this is for only I3 into I3 equal to 0. If you solve these three equations, we will get the values of I1, I2, I3 like this. Okay, you try to solve it if you have the scientific calculator. We'll see later. We have told you already. We'll discuss about the virtual calculator also. Okay, in one class we'll take that. We'll calculate using the virtual calculator. First, for this point of time, if you know how to use equation mode, you use equation mode and solve these three equations so that you will get this answer. I hope everyone got this part. If you have any kind of a doubt at this stage, you can ask. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay. Now you have solved two problems. We have completed nodal analysis and mesh analysis, right? I'll give you one gate question, which is basically from the gate 2012, which is a combination of nodal and mesh. Now you find the value here from this circuit. You note down this one. You won't get easy ones. A bit tricky ones only you will get from the KVL KCL. Okay, you have to analyze quickly and you have to solve. Okay, so try to note down this circuit. This voltage is 100 volts. This is 40 volts. Okay, this is 2 ohm. Okay, then this is 14 ohm. This one is 1 ohm. This is R. Okay, the resistance is equal to R. Now you find the value of R. Now time starts now. You can use KVL or KCL, whatever the rule you want, you can use, but find the value of resistance R. It's already 3 minutes over. You're getting anyone? Three minutes 30 seconds. Okay, let me explain. Anyone have the answer with you? You can tell if you have the answer, if you have calculated. Okay. What I am doing is a combination of same KVL and KCL. First, at this node, if you apply the KCL
23 ohm.
23
Ohms.
any other answer? Anyone having calculated? You are getting 23? Anyone? We'll see. What we are getting, we'll see. I am taking the voltage V at this node, then all the currents are leaving just like that. I am taking. Okay, all the currents are leaving. I am taking. For that reason, this is I1 and this is I2 and this is I3. Right? Then the sum of the currents at node all are leaving, that obviously equal to 0. I1 plus I2 plus I3, if you have at node V, that value is equal to 0. Then what is the value of I1? Which is equal to V minus 100 by 40. This will give you V minus 100 by 14. Then what about the I2 value? That is this one. This is at ground potential. Always we assume that is at 0. Right? Then I2 will become V minus 0 by 2. Then I3 V minus 40 by 1. Simply we will get the value of V here. Okay. Then solve for V. You will get the value V. And if you have the V directly, you can calculate the current. Why? Here total current is coming from this. Why? Because the source is here somewhere, the highest current source. Then this current source will be having some amount of current. That current is divided into two parts. One will go this way and another one go this way. Okay. First of all, what is the value of V you have calculated? How much you are getting the value of V? I am getting 30 volts. Is it correct? To solve this equation, I am getting V value is equal to 30 volts. Is it okay? You're getting any other value. Then if you assume this current is this direction, but we have the value of I1, that is this one, right? If you take quite opposite of this one, that is I, that's what I am taking. Okay, this current is I, but quite opposite to I1, that is minus I1, right? I is actually equal to the opposite of minus I1. That means this I1 is this value. That minus value, if you do, is then 100 minus 30 by 14. Then you will get the current here that is flowing in this branch particularly. How much current? 100 minus 30 by 14. How much you are getting? You're calculating or not?
5 amperes.
You will get 5 amperes exactly. If you calculate 100 minus 30 by 14, you will get 5 amperes. Here it is flowing 5 amperes. Okay, then here how much current is flowing, we can easily tell based on this. This is 5 amperes. Okay, then what is the current here that is flowing? You can write the equation, right? We have V 30 volts, we have 100 volts battery, then we have this resistor 14 ohm with 5 ampere current flow. Okay, if you do that, you will get here 10 amperes. This loop current, the 10 ampere is dividing into 5 ampere, and this side also 5 amperes. Okay, then this is 5 amperes. Okay, then what about the current here flowing? Why? Because what is the voltage here? This is equal to 100 only. This is same like this voltage source is acting, there is no element in between. For that reason you can take this as 100 volts. And what about the voltage here? This is here 40 volts, and directly there is no element, you can take this one as 40 volts. Then if you assume this branch, then 100 minus 40, 100 minus 40 is the voltage difference by current value is 5 amperes. That will give you your R value. our value you will get as 12 ohm or 23. Here R is equal to 12 ohm.
Excuse me, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, there how did we get 10 amperes, sir? Once explain more.
This 10 amperes here.
Yes, sir.
Here we are having 5 amperes. Whenever you are applying the here 100 minus V by 14, that is quite opposite to this current whatever we are calculated previously. V minus 100 by 14 is actually I1. Okay, that V minus 100 by 14 is I1. From that actually we got the V value, but this current whatever we are assuming, this value is quite opposite to this I1. For that reason I have taken this current as I is equal to I1 with the negative sign. That is quite opposite. For that reason I have taken negative sign. Then I is equal to 100 minus 30 by 14. 100 minus 30 by 14. Then you have 5 amperes. Okay. Okay. This 10 amperes you are asking, right? This one it is given in the problem. Sorry. This 10 ampere is already given in the problem. It is mentioned directly in the problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sorry for that. This 10 amperes and 5 amperes is directly given in the problem. Okay. We'll solve the one last one for this day. I hope it is clear. Whenever you are solving the mesh analysis, you have to take the current whatever you are writing. For the mesh 1 if you are writing, then for that mesh 1 you have to give highest preference. For that reason that current is greater when compared to other meshes. Whenever you are writing for the KCL, that is nodal analysis, if you are writing, then in that case you have to assume the node voltage must be at the higher potential when compared to other voltages. For that reason we have taken V minus. Okay, why we are assuming like this? Current will always flow from the higher potential to lower potential. For that reason we are assuming that. Okay, now if you try to solve this one, this is the last one for the day. You can use any nodal analysis or mesh analysis. This is E. Okay, because of this voltage there is a current I, and this value is equal to 1 ohm, and this is 6 ohm, and this one is 1 ohm. Then the current flow here is equal to 2 amperes, and this resistance is 4 ohm, and this is 1 ohm. Okay, then write your question. Considering this following circuit, if across 4 ohm, which is given already, which is equal to 2 amperes, then what is the value of E and I? You calculate the value of E and I. Almost 3 minutes 30 seconds. Anyone have the value of E and I?
Sir, 3.84.
The value of
3
E
voltage,
you are
sir.
telling?
Volt E, sir.
Okay.
Minus 3.84.
Any other? This is a bit typical one. Okay. Now we'll see we are getting 3.84 or not. You see here, you concentrate this one, you will understand. You have to look at the each circuit differently every time. For that reason we have given you this. Okay, whenever you are having this E, because of that there is some current is flowing. Obviously this current will divide into two parts here. Again this current will divide into two parts here, right? If they have given, this is the clue, from this point you have to start. This across 4 ohm the current is 2 amperes they told. Then if this is 2 amperes, then what is the voltage across this resistor? 2 amperes into 4 ohm. The voltage value is 8 volts, right? You know already this is one element and this one is one element. There is no in between. Is there any element? No element is connected. For that reason the voltage must be same, both are parallel branches. For that reason this value always equal to 8 volts, then this one also 8 volts only. Then how much current flowing here? This is 8 volts and this is 1 ohm. What is the ampere value?
8, sir.
This will be obviously 8 ampere, right? This is 8 amperes, right? Then you can see at this node two currents are dividing. This current is going this way and it is equal to 8 amperes and this one is 2 amperes. What is this current? The flowing current in this branch.
10.
Obviously this value 2 plus 8 amperes, that will give you 10 amperes. This 10 amperes, this one is 1 ohm. In this branch the resistance is 1 ohm and current is 10 amperes. Then in that case what is the voltage here? That is directly
10 volts.
10 volts. I hope it is clear for everyone. Okay, then if you, this is actually, if you look at like this, I'll redraw here. This is 6 ohm and which is connected to two resistors like this. For that this one is 1 ohm, that is 1 ohm, and this one is 4 ohm, and this side is, it is equal to 6 ohm. That means you can take this way but sometimes it will give you wrong. Then in that sense you have to apply the KVL here. For suppose in a loop the sum is equal to 0, we have got already, and this is 10 volts and this one is 8 volts. How much will be here across this 6 ohm?
18 volts.
Obviously this will give you, if this is positive sign this one is negative, obviously this value is equal to 18 volts. If this the voltage is 18 volts, resistance is 6 ohm, how much current is flowing in this? 3 amperes. Then here is 10 amps that is flowing already and here is flowing 3 amperes. How much current is flowing here? That is equal to in this branch?
13.
This will be equal to
10.
10 plus 3, that is 13 amperes. Then the voltage here is equal to 13 volts, right? And simply you can write the equation of this first loop, then you can note down the value of E from that equation. If you are applying KVL, E minus 13 volts, that is this volts, then minus 18 volts, that is this one. Okay, directly the total voltage in this loop is equal to 0. Then what is the value of E?
31.
31. What is the value of I? The I value is equal to 30 amperes. I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir.
They'll give you simple tricky ones only. In case of the normal network theory problems, they'll give you, sometimes it may not take 30 seconds. Okay, it won't exceed 30 seconds also. When you're solving, you first keenly observe the circuit, then you start solving so that you can solve very easily. Anyone having any doubt regarding this particular problem? If you have any doubt, you unmute yourself and ask. With this, we have completed the nodal analysis and mesh analysis. Tomorrow we will see the voltage divider, current divider, and also source transformation. I hope you learned something from this class. Is it okay? With this pace we can go, or we will go fast? Is it understandable for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you can understand, we'll go this pace. If it is a bit slower, this kind of we are getting sleeps or like that, if you feel, we'll go a bit faster. I'm stop recording this one.